From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. With durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all. You need the Kubota construction lineup. Right now, write it off the lot and write it off your taxes for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $4,000.
Tractors, trailers, rentals.
You do it all, we do it local.
Well, happy Wednesday morning to you all. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Let's get you right to the weather headlines. And, you know, one of the big things I think a lot of us are on the lookout for is there any rain in the forecast? And, you know, we look at the long-range forecast models and we start to see some changes in those overall long-term trends here. So let's get into the first several days and through this week here. There you can see cool mornings, mild afternoons. That's essentially what we've got for the rest of this afternoon and really the rest of this week, even going into next week. Now, the winds, they're still slowly subsiding, even down into Southern California, which we'll take a look at that here in a second. But rain near the end of the month, seeing some signs, some indications. However, the forecast models, each run, you look at, they come out about 4 times a day, and each run we take a look at, it shows the rain there, then it takes the rain out, or it backs off with the amount of rainfall or snow in the mountains. But bottom line, we're starting to see some hints at better chances for maybe some rain near the end of this month. Is it guaranteed? Absolutely not, but it is something we'll be watching here very closely. Let's take a look at Krueger's Quickcast here for your Wednesday, January 15th. Let's get you out the door this morning. Yeah, it's going to be another chilly start to the day. Low 40s in the valley at 8 o'clock this morning. 20s, 30s for many of the higher elevations. And along the coast, temperatures in the upper 30s. That beach hazard statement has been something I've been talking about the last 3 days. Today is the last day of that. Should expire at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, but sneaker waves will be the bigger concern again here, especially through at least the mid-afternoon hours. So the big ridge of high pressure is still in place. In fact, it's building, it's getting stronger. It's pushing the clouds and the rain up to our north. We are left with sunny skies, mild temperatures. Even the winds are starting to die down as well. Let's take a look at those wind gusts that we have here. Now, what we're seeing here is still a little breezy in some of those mountain ridge tops here for today, even into tonight. But if you look at the overall trend, the winds are not all that bad here for today. Speaking of today, temperatures are going to be in the low to mid 60s for the valley, sunny skies, temperatures for the mountains in the 40s and 50s, and of course for the coast, still looking at those mild temperatures in the mid to upper 50s for your daytime highs. So look at your 7-day outlook for the valley. Temperatures are actually, as I've been talking about, kind of ticking downward. I expect over the weekend around 60, upper 50s by Martin Luther King Jr. Day and into your Tuesday of next week. We take a look at the coast, inland, and for Trinity County. We are also seeing those temperatures slowly ticking downward. Martin Luther King Jr. Day for the coast around 55, upper 50s out towards the inland areas, and for Weaverville in particular, about 50 for your Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Let's take a look at Siskiyou, Modoc, and the eastern mountains. Now, what we're seeing here is temperatures kind of going down, and they're dropping even more. Quite cool, as a matter of fact, for many of the mountain locations on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Should be somewhere in the upper 30s to around those low 40s here for, in particular, around Mount Shasta. All right, that's a look at Krueger's Quickcast. Let's go into your deeper dive forecast, and we're going to start off again with Southern California, where the winds, the low humidity, even the warm temperatures are keeping that fire danger fairly high. Now we take a look at the latest in that activity coming, at least being detected by the satellite image. And again, no reds or oranges on the map, which is a good sign. That's showing that what we're seeing here is old activity that the satellite image has been detecting on. So the Eaton fire at 35%, 97% Hearst fire, and the Palisades fire at about 18% containment at this point this morning. Now this red flag warning is still going to be in effect until about 6 o'clock this afternoon. So still looking at the dry conditions, still looking at the windy conditions out there as well. There still is a wind advisory until 6 p.m. today as well, for all of the areas in blue here. So the winds are still going to be playing a role here in the fire forecast. Let's take a look at that here for today. You see those gusty winds here, especially in the foothills in the mountains. You're talking 20, 30, even upwards of 40 to 50 miles per hour. But look at this. Look at Thursday. You see how overall it's really beginning to die down. Those winds are finally going to give the firefighters a bit of a break on Thursday. Now Friday, it looks like it starts to light up a little bit more, and we see those winds maybe pick up by Friday afternoon once again. Could we be looking at another red flag warning or wind advisory? It's a possibility, although looking at this, it looks a little bit more borderline than what we've been experiencing so far this week. So fingers crossed. There you can see the fire weather risk here. Now, once again, since we're not dealing with very hot temperatures, that's taken out of the equation with this particular forecast model. However, we still have dry conditions and we still have gusty winds. That's why you can see the areas of bright yellow indicating that high fire danger is in the forecast for today. But by tomorrow, there you can see it's mainly just in the form of green, which is the low fire danger. So again, we're getting that relief in Southern California. And there's Friday, some of those winds picking up, kind of showing up here on this particular model here. But as I mentioned, it doesn't look to be quite as bad on Friday as we have been experiencing over the last few days. All right, let's take you back home here in Northern California. The winds, they're not that big of a problem here for us today. Maybe a little breezy for some of those mountain ridge tops off in the eastern mountains. And then for your Thursday, yeah, looking really nice. Temperatures, those winds mainly below 10 miles per hour. And how about Friday? Not that bad either. So we're finally getting relief from these winds here in Northern California, but it looks like by the weekend, that may change. We'll take a closer look at that here in a second. Here you can see that big ridge of high pressure pushing all of the clouds up to our north. We are left with sunny skies and, of course, those calm winds. Let's take a look at a little longer range here. Now, again, no rain in the forecast when we're talking about looking at the forecast model here. However, let's take a look at Friday. You see how Friday you've got those tightly packed isobars mainly to our north and east. So places like the Pacific Northwest into Montana and Idaho, Wyoming, all seeing some gusty winds here by Friday. We're on the very edge of that. The winds may pick up a little bit on Friday, but I'm not concerned about it at all. Then we go into Saturday, Sunday. We actually see a bit of what we call an inside slider coming in. So again, most of the winds through the weekend even look to be to our north and east. However, this is inching closer to us. So that would mean the winds could pick up here over the weekend. And then we'll take you into your Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Once again, we're not really seeing those winds amplify a whole lot, but they may pick up, as I mentioned. So we're talking Saturday, Sunday, Monday, maybe the wind's picking up a little bit here, and then that high pressure still that dominant feature going into early next week. You can see the rain off to our west. That wants to move in, but it can't because we still have the blocking ridge of high pressure, and that will most likely still be the case even through next week. So we look at the precipitation outlook, and yeah, we're in that drier than normal category, continuing with that. But again, one of the silver linings with all of this is the fact that we do have those reservoirs, the lakes are still looking really good, over 125% in most cases for Shasta Lake, for Trinity Lake and Lake Oroville as well. So again, things are looking good on that front. How about that ski report? Not much change here either. Of course, we're not seeing any new snow on top of what we've already seen, but we're at about 59 inches out of the summit out at the Mount Shasta Ski Park. Again, we have that beach hazard statement until 3 o'clock today, so just be aware of that if you do plan on heading out to the beaches today. Sneaker waves, those are those unexpected waves, big rush of water that can sweep you under your feet, and before you know it, you're swept back in the ocean, and especially even more dangerous when you're on those sharp rocks doing some rock hopping. There you can see your wave heights here for today. We take your wave heights into your Thursday. They're actually retreating, so that certainly is good news if you need to be on a small boat. Let's take a look at that marine forecast for today. South winds at about 5 to 10 knots with your waves from the north at 2 feet at 6 seconds and from the west at 7 feet at about 15 seconds. There's your sunrise and your sunset for today. Here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Your temperature is mainly around 60 degrees, give or take. 7-day outlook is keeping it dry for the next 7 to even 10 days. It's also the case for the North Coast with temperatures there mainly in the 60s inland and along the coast. You're looking at those temperatures somewhere in the upper 50s for your daytime highs. Here's a look at Siskiyou County. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s for your daytime highs. Of course, yes, dry conditions here for the next 7 to even most likely 10 days. Modoc County, 51 degrees for Tule Lake, 49 degrees in Canby, 50 in El Turris and Eagleville, and Fort Bidwell, a high of about 49 degrees today. Eastern Mountains, yep, you know the drill here. It's going to be dry for the next 7 days. Of course, today, sunny skies, temperatures in the 40s and 50s here. Taking a look at your Valley neighborhood forecast, brought to you by Walgamith Painting. Your temperatures in the low 60s, 63 degrees for Los Molinos, 63 for Corning, and 64 degrees for Pasquenta. Up north, about 65 for the city of Shasta Lake, 63 in Whiskeytown, Lakehead 65, and there you can see Red Bluff about 63 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding, and you've got those temperatures slowly dropping. I do expect upper 50s to about 60 over the weekend for your Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a high of 57 and about 58 by next Tuesday. That's your morning update. Have yourselves a great morning. I'll see you back here again at noon.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.